Hello everybody, Average Gamer here, and welcome to Supreme Ruler Ultimate versus Supreme Ruler The Great War. So my initial plan, I will admit, was to have both a copy of Supreme Ruler Ultimate running and Supreme Ruler The Great War running at the exact same time. It didn't really work out that well. Fortunately, I could only run one because Steam was being a pain in the butt. So you guys are unfortunately going to have to stick with just looking at, Supreme Ruler The Great War. So what I wanted to do is I want to talk about today the differences between the Great War and Ultimate. So number one, units. We'll always start with Ultimate first. So Ultimate, you have fast, lightning quick units, lightning fast aircraft with amazing ranges. You know, you can launch a strategic bomber from one side of the world and fly it all the way to the other side of the world, hit a specific, unit, whether it be artillery, infantry, or whatever, and then have it fly all the way back to its airbase, halfway around the world. In Supreme Ruler Ultimate, it takes a day and a half for an airplane to fly from Berlin to the French border. And it has, or not even a day and a half. It'll take almost the latter part of a day, it feels like. They are slow. They are very weak. They are very, very finicky. Prone to crashing. I've had multiple crashes. Not the most reliable, but fun. You get to actually watch the airstrikes occur. You actually get to watch the air fights. You can see the slow buildup of aircraft in air forces. Right now, in our playthrough here, we have the only air force. We have 7 airplanes. That's it. 7. In our China Let's Play, I think it's about 20, we'll say, but 20 years in, we had over 12,000 aircraft. Strategic bombers, transport aircraft, helicopters, strategic bombers, regular bombers, close air support, interceptors, multi-role aircraft, you name it. Tons and tons and tons of aircraft. Well, here we have 7 scout aircraft. 6 on the western front, 1 on the eastern front. So aircraft, you're still there, but they're very, very hard. This is almost what I want to say is the pre-Ultimate game. Yeah. Where it's definitely a lot harder. I'll say that when it comes to aircraft. Ground units. So in Supreme Ruler Ultimate, you have heavily armed tanks. These massive main battle tanks that have had been designed since World War II or World War I, all the way to the modern era with, depleted uranium armor and amazing ranges of 50 to 60 kilometers, radar, stealth technology, all these things. They're faster than some infantry fighting vehicles. You have light tanks, heavy tanks, amphibious tanks. In Supreme Ruler Ultimate, we have tanks. Tanks. We're talking like the Mark 1, the Mark 2, the Mark 3, the AV4. I think it's the AV4 for the Germans. We have the male and female Mark 1. Where basically tanks are basically just massive treads, steel treads, not rubber. Steel treads with basically artillery guns just attached to them. Slow moving, horribly armed, horribly efficient, but it makes you think. You have to use them in decisive battles because they're really slow. And the moment the other country sees that you're using them, they'll either move artillery into place to try to suppress them, or try to move, if they've already researched it, some anti-tank weaponry into them, if they exist. Tanks are definitely more strategic in Great War versus Ultimate. In Ultimate, they're more of a hammer and nail effect, where you basically use them to do this massive armored thrust through the enemy to just smash them. Well, in the Great War, you're actually using them more as a supportive weapon with the infantry. You're using them to basically almost like mobile artillery. And yeah, it's definitely different. Infantry. Well, first off, it takes months to move infantry around the country. Right now in our playthrough, we are moving a significant amount of troops to the east because we have cavalry to the east. It takes forever to move units. Units move really slow in the Great War. Well, like I said, in Ultimate, you can have these massive, fast pushes into the plains of Europe, the plains of Africa, Asia, South and North America. These massive pushes of mobile infantry, mechanized infantry, infantry fighting vehicles. Later on, you get jump jet infantry, and just have them flying through the countryside with no issues or problems. Great War, on the other hand, if I have a unit that shows up in Berlin, it will take 4, 5, 6 days, possibly even longer, for the artillery or the infantry to get all the way to the border of France. So you have to think strategically with your infantry and your artillery. Artillery is even slower, but it's even slow in Supreme Ruler Ultimate, unless it's mobile artillery, which is non-existent at this time frame. Navy is pretty much the same, except for the fact that if you lose a warship in this game because your production amounts are so low, as Germany, we start with one naval production facility. It takes 500 days to build a Konings class battleship or dreadnought. If we lose a Koning class dreadnought / battleship, that's going to hurt. Because for 500 days, if we're replacing it, we're not producing anything else. So that's a big deal. Naval losses, while you can shrug them off in Ultimate and shrug them off in Cold War even. Even later games in Ultimate where you're just looking going, oh, hey, I lost like 18 destroyers and 36 escort ships and 2 aircraft carriers during the fight for whatever island or whatever country. Yeah, no big deal. Let's just rebuild them. And your 36 naval production facilities are up and running. And boom, you've got it built soon, fast. And you're already replacing them as they're being lost anyways. Which actually brings me to the next stage, which is production and economy. So in Supreme Ruler Ultimate, production is literally on an industrial scale. Our China campaign, we had over 100 land production facilities by the time that campaign came to an end. And we didn't even conquer half. We conquered like maybe basically ourselves, North and South Korea, Mongolia, and Russia. We let everyone else go free. And we had a ridiculous amount of industrial capacity, military production capacity in land, air, and sea. While in the Great War, I think we start with the greatest, which is we start with 6 land production facilities, 2 aircraft production facilities, and 1 naval production facility. And then the British, I think, and the French both have 3 land production. The Americans, I think, have 2 at the beginning. And it goes down from there. Overall, production is really slow. Or actually, it's the production for land units are quicker, but your losses are higher as well. Being the first industrial war, production really didn't replace losses all that great, which is one of the reasons why the war ended. Because if it lasted, I think, another 4 years, people were predicting that both sides were just going to run out of people. You and I would not exist because they literally would have run out of people to throw at each other. And it would have ended up as a stalemate. Yeah, so production, way lower on the Great War side. Well, on Supreme Ruler Ultimate, you are doing massive production. Which brings me to the economy. So in Supreme Ruler Ultimate, you can support building all these units. You'll have billions of dollars to play with. You will have billions of dollars in trade, millions of dollars in taxes. You will have literally millions upon millions of tons of goods and resources to pull upon to do all these things with. Why? Because things are more efficient, things are better, and overall things are just more stable. In the Great War, you're you're lucky. You're lucky if you break $200 million in your bank account. I think I broke it 3 times while we were playing our Let's Play so far. Money is extremely short. Taxes. You're lucky if you bring in a couple $100,000 in taxes at any given time. Trade is virtually non-existent when it comes to goods, if you actually review the two of them. For example, in rubber, I'll buy less than $1 million worth of rubber. Like, we're talking 4, 5, 8 tons of rubber. And that's a big trade deal. 8 tons of rubber is a big trade deal. Well, if you're looking at our Vietnam campaign or South Sudan campaign or even China campaign as Supreme Ruler Ultimate, we'll be buying 1.3, 1.4 million tons. 1.3 million tons of rubber. Or even selling 1.3 million tons of rubber to somebody. And that is a good trade deal. Supreme Ruler Great War, 8 tons. Just 8 is a massively good deal depending on the money. So trade and economy in this game is way lower. Now, personally, I am looking forward to slowly building up the economy of the country as well. But the fact that you're going to be pretty much in a constant war almost right from the beginning, you really don't have the ability to build up your economy because you're going to be immediately on a war footing. Making, military stockpiles your priority. Consumer goods, who cares? People's happy, who cares? Hike up taxes, lower social spending. Save yourself a couple $100,000 and spend it on buying troops, equipment, and supplies for the military. That's pretty much how the Great War is in comparison in economy. Diplomacy-wise, diplomacy doesn't exist in Great War, to be honest with you. The only part about diplomacy that exists is you clicking the OK button when the war kicks off. Depending on what country you are, you have the ability to click whether to declare war or hold off. But either way, there's a war happening. No matter what. It's the Great War. It's going to happen. Campaigns. So there's tons of campaigns, tons of different sandbox options and all that stuff in Supreme Ruler Ultimate. In Supreme Ruler Great War, I have a pre-release copy, so I'm not privy to everything. I do know that they are in the process of working on, right now there is a, let's actually go real quick into our options here and take a look. Single player, campaign. So right now there's a 1914 campaign to play as Austria, Hungary, France, the Roman Empire, the Russian Empire, Great Britain, and Germany. Sandbox mode, there's only 2, 14 and 17. Rumor is they're also looking at a 15 and 18, or 16. I think it's 15, 16, and 18, as well as a 1900 sandbox. Rumor is. Whether that will occur or not, who knows? But overall, I have to admit, I'm just gonna go back because right now there's no one playing. But overall, it'll have a fair amount of campaigns. Now, a lot of people are complaining about the fact that it looks like Supreme Ruler Ultimate, just reskinned or whatever. It uses the same engine, yes. It uses the same map, yeah. In the end, it is not Supreme Ruler Ultimate. It, in my eyes, is the Great War. It's all about the Great War. It's all about massive battles, slow moving units, slow economies, small economies, massive fights. And to be honest with you, I think this is the first time they've made a game that's all about just the war. Well, not including Supreme Ruler 1936. Well, even 36, because there was still the build-up. You still had 3 years to build up to the war. and then the war would kick off. Well, the Great War, you literally spend the first 20 minutes doing things, and then all of a sudden, boom, Austria-Hungary and Serbia are going to war. Immediately, they're kicking off and starting. So, I mean, you don't even get that chance to even do much. If you're playing with Serbia or even Austria-Hungary, you're pretty much at war almost right from the start. You hit start, and as Austria-Hungary, you're already deploying troops to go towards the Serbian border, because Franz Ferdinand has been assassinated. So you're mobilizing and sending troops to the Serbian border right away. So you got that to look forward to. But yeah, overall, it's all about the slow-paced battles. Not even a build-up, just right into the war. Boom, there you go. Do I like this game? I do. I'm actually playing it quite a bit. I'm liking it. I'm having tons of fun. My biggest issue with it right now is the fact that I can't stop playing it. My girlfriend's getting mad at me every now and then because she'll find me. I'll tell her I'm gonna go do something. I'll go do whatever it is I'm doing, and then she'll look for me, thinking that I'm still doing whatever it is. Like I said, I was going to cut the lawn. I cut the lawn. Came inside because it was nice and hot. Came into the air conditioning. Sat down by my computer. Had a nice cold beer. Loaded up the Great War, and did some strategic redeployment of some troops. Kind of moved things around a little bit. And sure enough, she finds me. What are you doing? I'm playing Supreme Ruler. Like, you're always playing that crazy game. It's like, I'm sorry. It's addictive. It is fun. Overall, I gotta say it is worth it. Obviously, it is priced accordingly to what it is. Overall, I like it. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.